Welcome back to Beauty Heals, a podcast about becoming, healing, and noticing the beauty that's been within you all along. I'm Brittany, and for years I battled chronic illness, depression, identity loss, and the quiet loneliness of motherhood. But beauty kept showing up anyway. Thank God. Here we talk about those kinds of stories and the ones that change us from the inside out. Today, I am with someone so special to me. She is a wife, a mother of two, business owner, and one of the biggest dreamers that I actually know. Her name is Hannah, and she is my sister-in-law.
I'm so happy. Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, I can't believe we're doing this.
The first guest.
I know, literally, like you're before Justin, so it's like that's a
big that's a big thing. I'm gonna rub it in its face.
No, for real. I'm like, that's because it's like it's so easy for us to. Well, we have 3 kids, so it's not really that easy to film a podcast now that I think of it. But please tell us like who you are, what your business is, and anything else you want us to know.
Okay, my husband and I, we own Renew Coffee, which is a mobile espresso bar. So we have multiple espresso bars. They go all over to different events, weddings, stuff like that.
I love it. Oh my gosh. And how long have you been doing this?
Okay, a little over 2 years. And then I just started our Little Guests, which is the childcare business for events and weddings as well.
I feel like every time I talk to Hannah, she is like she's very similar to my husband, Justin, who is like he calls himself like a, oh gosh, I'm blanking on it's like a chronic dreamer, but chronic is like it has a negative. Yeah. I'll have to ask him what it's called, but it's literally like you are such a dreamer. And I feel like a lot of mothers specifically actually like that gets tainted when you have kids. And like, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but like we have like a herd of children in the other room.
They might come in.
They might come in and need us. But I think that's why this is like this podcast, this episode is even more special. And I think that's why you are the first one, because I was like, you're the closest one to me. You're such an inspiration to me. And so can you tell us a little bit about like why you started Renew?
Okay, I feel very strongly to not get lost in motherhood. And so Ava, my oldest, she's almost 3 now. She was 6 months. At that point, I was still working from home full time. And I just remember feeling the weight of being a first-time mom and how hard it was. And I told myself when I was pregnant, like, I'm not going to get lost in motherhood because I felt like everyone else around me was losing themselves. And it's very hard. And I also think it is easy to lose your identity in that. And so we happened to be going to a farmer's market one day, and there was a guy there with a coffee cart, and I had never in my life seen a coffee cart. I've never even pictured what that would look like. I've worked in coffee my whole life, and Kyle worked in events for like a majority of his adult life, and so we ended up just kind of combining. And the guy was like, you guys should do this. I'm leaving the state. I'm the only one that does this in Colorado Springs. And so we were like, okay, and that was where the like immediate passion came from. You know, I was like, finally, something I can do that's outside of being a mom, outside of just working this job from home, and then finally, like, sparked, I guess, that fire within me.
That's amazing. And what did Kyle, your husband, like, think about it?
It was so funny. So I am, like, I have a lot of ideas, and so we got home, and I was like, we need to take our savings and buy an espresso machine, or we're never going to do it. Right? Like there's a million ideas I've had that I never actually pursue. Yeah. So we took our whole savings and we bought the espresso machine. And from there it was like, oh no, we have to do this. And then we did it.
How scary was that though?
It was, I think it's hard because there's a lot of businesses you can start that you don't invest a lot of money up front. Yeah. But we were like, here's a $3,500 machine. I mean, it's a lot, right?
That's a lot, yeah.
Kyle was saying, well, you know, if we invest in this, then and it all fails, at least we have a really cool at-home coffee setup.
Everyone's coming over to Hannah and Kyle's for coffee. I mean, we do that anyway, and I'm like,
which is true. The one that we originally bought for our business is now just our at-home because we don't use it.
It is the best, though.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
It was so ironic how it went from, an at-home to now, Like we were using it for business literally, I think, for 5 months. And then we were like, this machine is not very good. So we need to keep it at home.
Wow. So you already so you said 5 months.
Yeah.
So you started with the the espresso machine, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, yeah.
I know I love coffee. Justin and I love coffee, but I feel like I'm so ignorant when it comes to the actual process of making coffee. Yeah. Every time Hannah comes over, I'm like, forgive me for the sins I have committed.
It's fine.
Making your coffee.
We have a great cup of Brittany's coffee right here. No, it is good though. It's actually good.
I literally purposely bought creamer yesterday because I feel like the way that Justin and I make coffee, I feel like a lot of people, especially parents, unless you're just like really into it, like you're just like, brew it. Like, I don't care how it comes, just brew it and IV it into my veins because I didn't sleep last night.
I'm like, just give me, I literally think I have like 4 lattes a day.
It is like,
this can't be good for me, but it's fine.
But you balance it with like some salad and protein and some fats and it's fine. You're fine. Just kidding. In my mind, I'm like, I have cortisol issues, but am I willing to give this up?
With the kids, we got.
I don't know.
I need something.
I tried.
I need a Coke.
I'm trying to drink matcha right now. I don't know if that's also like a very awful thing to admit to you.
I think it's better.
You think?
Probably. I don't know.
I don't know. Oh my gosh.
I will forever be coffee all the way.
I can't ever see you being like not for coffee.
I mean, it's my business.
No, it's your business. It's your business. Okay. So I feel like you and I can have literally like the funnest like spin-offs on like all of these convos, but I want to hear before we kind of get into like our nitty-gritty details of like why we're doing this specific podcast is when we talk about beauty heals, we're all in different seasons, we're all in different walks of life, right? All I hear is babies in the background.
Should we go tell them?
But I think like maybe the windows are open. Anyway, we're all in different seasons of life. And so the format that we follow on Beauty Heals is basically like, what is your, not literal sense, but like what was your winter? What was your spring, summer, and fall? And so, winter being like the descent, the hard thing, like what in your story, especially like maybe even with the name Renew, why did you pick Renew?
Love it. Okay, let's see if I can summarize it quickly.
I know. Well, and feel free, like if we want to spend more time in winter than other, you know what I mean? Because sometimes like our winters take up more space.
Well, even if it's like a quick thing, it takes up so much.
It impacts you.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the time we, especially in like business and social media, and being hidden as moms. I think like no matter what, if you're a stay-at-home mom or you are a working mom or you are both, like being hidden, like what that feels like. And it's like, this is my winter. Like it's just hard. But yeah, tell us about Renew.
Okay, so I think everything in my life, I always wanted to impact people in the greatest way possible. And even when I was in winter, I still thought, there was like some sort of faith within all of it that I was like, I know there's more to my life than this. So it comes from a background of addiction. I was like, I am an addict. I will forever be an addict. But you can assume what comes with that, just like abusive relationships. I mean, I would drink morning, noon, and night. I mean, every time, you might have a stint of what they say, like sobriety, right? I didn't drink for a month. And then you go back out. It gets worse and worse each time you do. It's like the addiction hits you 10 million times harder every time you try to go back, thinking, oh, it's not me. Like I went a month without drinking. So basically it was this course of like, I don't even know when I started drinking. Maybe I was like a sophomore in high school. And obviously at that point it wasn't super bad. And then every time it just got worse and worse and worse. And so it got to the point where I was drunk, finally ended my relationship with my ex and then left. And that's when the spiral completely like overtook because I was codependent. My whole life was relying on him and what he wanted of me. And so then it resulted in me like over overdosing, going to psych ward, and then finally ending up in rehab, which is actually where I met Kyle.
I know. That's like the part of your story where I'm like, not only like not to rejoice in where you went, but it's like the fact that you took something so hard in your life. And that's why I say like you are one of the most inspirational people I know.
Thank you.
I'm not going to get too emotional, but it's like, but truly, it's like, I think for me, walking my own path, it's like I look towards other women and I look towards you, and you literally took something so unbearable and heavy, and you have quite literally just turned beauty from ashes. And so it's incredible.
Thank you. I feel like there was always this like, there's got to be something more. And I knew, even in addiction, I knew that God was like within me still, and that I had more to life than just this. I mean, the fact that I feel blessed enough to say that I was able to like walk away. I mean, I literally was so close to marrying my ex, and my life would have looked completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, he showed me a ring and everything, and then I had to transform everything, right? And I also think there's a big part of like, you know, the winter and the beauty. I think you have to look back and recognize that you're not the victim. And I had a huge part to play within everything. And that takes time, a long time, to be like, oh, I had these things that happened to me, but I also fed into this. Like my life and my decisions led me there. But it was cool to like, I don't even feel like I know her anymore. You know, like I don't know the Hannah that went through all of that. And she feels so far removed. So it's interesting talking about it, because it's like, whoa, I feel like I'm talking about someone else, right? But that's the best part, is like your story. I mean, the best thing we can give is our testimony to people. And so it's like you can get to the point where it's like you're so far removed from it, and then the beauty happens.
I think especially when we're talking about like metaphorical seasons, and, you know, talking about like, especially with business, right? People see the mountaintops, people see like this business and, you know, like these events and everything that you're doing for Renew, and even more, you know, you have so much more to give. And I think when people see the fruit of these businesses that are flourishing, people are like, what do you mean you have a winter?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, because no one, which is like so interesting, because we all just think about ourselves constantly, and especially in business, like it's true that you just end up showing the like greatest side of it, right? Or you're like showing kind of like the build up towards it, but most people will never know, and I think that that's okay, right?
Yeah.
Like they're never gonna know what happened, how you got to this point, what made you get there, but you can try. And the whole purpose of life is like, if I can touch one person, then that's all that matters. But like, I've had this thought lately, why would I put myself and put God in a box of like, I'm only meant to influence one person, when it's like that one person does matter, but what if it's so much bigger than that? And what if like our story is meant for so many other people? Like, why would we not talk about it, right?
It's true. And I feel like you talking about it right now, I'm sure there's like a ton of people who are like, oh my gosh, like I knew that there was something different about Renew. And if you guys like have ever walked up to Hannah and Kyle's like business, whether it's for weddings, right? Because you guys do weddings. What kind of like people do you serve?
So there's like this shift that has happened lately with Renew. I mean, when you first start a business, you're doing like anything and everything, and it's just like kind of the worst. It's the growing pains,
Yes.
which had to happen.
Yeah.
But you start going to all these events, and so I feel every year that we keep going, there's a shift, like a constant shift of where we're trying to lead. So right now we're leading more towards like weddings, flat fee, high-end premium events. Obviously, we still have our like public events and stuff, but it's like going to be this slow transition to just like being more premium, more. Kyle and I literally yesterday spoke about how we want to make Renew a hospitality company. So it is like so much more than just coffee.
Yep.
And if I can like take our employees outside of the realm of like, we're just here serving coffee. It's a quick, like, get people in and out the door. No, it's like Renew Coffee is hospitable. How can we make every person we serve feel seen and valued? And now I'm like, I truly think 2026 is going to be like a new shift of like, okay, instead of coffee, it's like, how can we truly care for people that we serve?
And see, that's exactly like, just to kind of like finish what I was going to say in the, before I asked you this question, is literally like, with, if you guys have ever come to, I'm assuming the dads are going to come get us if there's anything wrong.
Yeah. You can see all of them outside the window. You're like, what are you guys doing? Like, as a mom, you're like, I got it. And then dads are like, oh, I don't know.
But you know what's crazy? I'm going to finish my thought, hopefully. I'll finish my thought, and then I'm going to talk about the babies crying, so remind me. My thought with what Hannah just shared is, like, even though like, most people don't know your winter, your descent, the hard thing that got you to where you are right now, I think we know when people have gone through a lot. We totally just know.
Agree. Yes.
And you're like, this is grounded. This is like, this is more than coffee. And so what I'm hearing from you is like there's like a spring coming, you know? And so we'll get to the spring as well, but
there we go. He brought him outside.
The dad has the baby. When you see a dad who's supposed to be watching your children and there's no child in his arms,
specifically the baby, like
specifically the baby.
So funny.
But I feel like so much of my personal journey is like having things fit into a box. And I'm like, even setting this up, like, I got so frustrated, and I'm like, we need to clean up. We need to do all these things. It has to look a certain way, and I'm projecting and vomiting all over the family. And it's like, no, actually, like, your whole podcast is literally
like, vulnerable. This is me, right?
It's literally for women in the, like, trenches.
Yeah.
Like, again, you don't have to be a stay-at-home mom. You could be a working mom. Just any kind of caretaker, honestly, this podcast is for you. And so I think like the interruptions, and I'm using air quotes here, are
reality,
and they're part of this podcast. And I feel like they need to eventually be thrown into the intro.
Well, yeah, because I was thinking that I was like, it gets to a point, right, where you're like, I have to keep living my life. I can't like be anxious about this and this and that. It's like, we're just gonna do it and see what happens.
And that's what I feel like you have always been like that.
Yeah.
And Justin is very much like that too. Yeah. And not to keep comparing you two, but like, that's why.
No, I mean, we are brother and sister.
I love it though. Yeah. I love it. And I think that's why you and I click so well, is because like, I tend to bend towards like, well, what are the rules?
Yeah.
And Justin's like,
we're just doing it.
We're just going to do it. It's going to be okay. And, but I think like when it comes to business, how do you feel like, did you ever feel stuck, or has that always been like, was there ever a time in your winter when you felt like the grief, the struggle, like
kind
was
of
too
questioning
much?
Myself and
yeah.
Okay. So with Renew, I feel like when you start something new, you have to, backtrack. So with Renew, I immediately, when we started the business, I said, I will not hold expectation with this, because everything in my life, I will put expectations and I'm constantly let down. I mean, literally your expectations will never meet, right? Yeah. And so I remember completely surrendering, and I was like, I will have no expectations, and then the rest will just be in God's hands. And from that day, I truly have been like that. Like,
do you think that that's why most moms are stuck?
Yes, 1000%. And the hardest part is, I feel there's this thing with moms of, I can't do it. I have all these excuses, all these reasons not to do it. And it's like, okay, well, do you want to go your entire life and look back and be like, wow, I wish I would have, and just like seen what would happen? You know?
We have a dad here.
He's checking. He's our, what's the word? The technician. He's like, good.
He gave us a thumbs up. He's too good to us.
But I think that was what I was saying of like moms, anyone at any point in life, whether you're mom or not, can come up with a million excuses. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I'm the type that's like, I'm going to make it happen. Like, I will make this happen. If it fails, at least I know. I will never forget. I've said it to you a million times, but it's like the most successful people in life try something, fail a million times, and then they finally find what clicks. Everyone's like, oh, so-and-so built $1 million business. Like, that's all you're seeing. But imagine the 10 businesses before that failed. They're not going to, like, you're not following that. You're following the $1 million. But everybody had something that failed, right?
So true. What would you what would you say about selfishness? Because I feel like this is kind of like, we almost, like what I'm learning right now in my own life are loop cycles. And where I am playing a role in my own story of winter.
Yeah.
And where I'm like, oh gosh, I am actually truly not a victim. And I am playing these, maybe they're old beliefs, maybe they're just bad habits, maybe it's just like a poor perspective, whatever it is. Maybe it's all of them. But it's like, I hear a lot of moms talk about selfishness and shoulds.
Ugh.
And it kind of goes off of like what you were talking about with like, oh, I have all these other things, excuses. But I think especially being women of faith, there's a lot of shoulds and there's a lot of selfishness. Like these beliefs of if I do this, if I step out, if I buy a $3,500 espresso machine, this is tied to selfishness. Why can't I just be happy?
Well, okay, yes, this is just such a topic I feel so strongly about, of like, by you taking care of yourself, doing things you're passionate about, having hobbies, you are a way better mother. Way better.
Mic drop. Just drop it.
If you are ever like, it's so frustrating because I know and I can see how easily it would be to lose your identity in being a mom. Because of social media, because of the internet, because there's a million ways to do something and you have to be perfect and right and all this stuff. And it's like, no, I told myself, right? Like, my dream scenario was, okay, if I could have 2 days a week in the mornings, right? Like 4 hours in the morning, Tuesdays, like 2 days a week to do what I need to do, I know I will be a better mother. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with working. There's nothing wrong with like doing your passions because I show up better. If I am with my kids 24/7 all the time, I lose my mind. I lose my mind. Every mom does. And I think you have to kind of exposure therapy yourself. If you're going to like, you have, especially a first-time mom, right? You leave your kids alone with the husband for the first time. It's like you're constantly thinking about them and you're like, oh my God, everything's going south. But the reality is I had to exposure therapy. I literally had to be like, I'm leaving the house, even if it's for 15 minutes every single day, and be like, everything's fine. And then I had this crazy moment of like, why would I worry about something that I don't actually know is happening? I'm like leaving the house to spend time with myself, worrying about something. I come back, everything was fine. I just wasted 15 minutes of my life worrying. So then I got to this point of like, okay, if they cry, they cry. Like, I have to accept the fact that, like, this is good for me. And that is the point where every mom, I think, has a hard time stepping out. Because it's like, they get, we have an expectation that, like, okay, if it doesn't get better in 8 times, then I'm never going to do it again. And then you just give up on yourself.
Wow.
You are showing your kids to not give up on themselves. If you fight for yourself, you fight for your passions, you fight for what you love, you are also showing your kids, fight for yourself. Wow. And if you back down and you say, I'm never going to do anything for myself, what does that show your kids?
Yeah. That's what I think. My biggest thing, that's so good. My biggest thing, I think like so much of why I even did this podcast is because like I was talking to my business coach and I was like, I'm such a verbal processor, first of all, but I was like, these things, like, they are community builders. This is like me getting to talk to other women.
Yes, and it not only helps you, but it helps them.
I'm like, no one's interrupting for the first time in like, like a few hours. And it's just, it feels so good. And I think like the problem is that like social media glorifies these like trad wives and like hippie mamas. And I was like suffocating in this. And I'm like, I should be this like XYZ mama. And the problem is that you're putting shackles on yourself that were never meant for you.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm actually like, I feel like I'm finally in this unraveling. Like we're talking really about like unraveling in until February, like topics of unraveling. How are we as women and as moms, wives, just women in general, unraveling stories about ourselves, beliefs, and how is that good for us?
Yeah, that's
because it doesn't really sound very good when you like.
Yeah.
I even like looked up unraveled, and it's just like people don't really think about unraveling as like a very positive thing. It's like, oh, that unraveled.
Yeah.
Oh, that whole business unraveled. It's like, no, actually, it's like when I think about unraveled, it's like allowing things to air out. Like unzipping your pants in the car after you mean like let it air out, mama.
I love that. I was thinking too that like, shouldn't we, I mean, it might be uncomfortable, but why are we like a society that strays away from uncomfortability? Like that is literally the best place to be in, is to be uncomfortable and push yourself. So good. And again, if we're like talking about motherhood, like you're showing your kids, like it's okay to be uncomfortable and like push past it. And again, not give up.
And to use it.
Yeah.
And like to not stay there. Because I think that's like the biggest thing too, is like we are busy with things that are not fulfilling us, but they're all like to-do lists.
Yeah, I was going to say too, it reminded me of, I think we spoke about it, the fantasy self.
Ooh, yes.
Like every person, if you are like on social media, we could talk about it all day, but it's like there are a million, you have friends around you have women on social media that are doing something and they make it look absolutely glorious. Mm-hmm. And so you create this fantasy self thinking, for instance, I'm going to garden. Me, Hannah? No, never. I hate gardening. I would hate doing that. But like social media makes me think
that you can.
I should do it.
Yes.
And so no wonder it's like we're kind of chasing after things that don't make sense. I truly, and we spoke about it yesterday or 2 days ago, that if you want to pursue something, talk to the people closest to you and ask them, like, you know me the best. Is this good for me? Mm-hmm. Like, would this actually be something that you could see me doing? And if you talk to the people that are real with you, which should be the friends around you, they'll be real with you. And they'll be like, hey, like, no.
You did that to me, and I literally did not take it very well. I did not take it well. Yeah. But it's like, you're right. It's like, you do need those people around you to be in like, you need to like check yourself.
Right. I mean, because I love you. Yeah. Why would we be like a dog chasing its tail in circles? Like, I don't want that.
No.
I want to like do something that actually works.
Exactly. And I feel like for the first time, like because I think we were talking about like photography specifically, and you did that to me. And I was like, what? I was so offended. But I'm like, but then I like, after my pity party, I was like, oh, she's so right.
Yeah, right.
She's so right.
Well, the first thing is like, right, you go to someone, and I think there will forever be a natural tendency with humans of like defense.
Yeah.
Of like, what do you mean? This could be I've done it even with Kyle. But then I got to the point of like, okay, I don't want to waste my time. Mm-hmm. And like, I want to do, like, that's when our little guest started, is I was like, I spoke to a lot of people. I was like, is this good idea? Number one, is it a good business idea? But then number two, is it something that I can actually do that would be sustainable? Because I don't want to lose track of Renew and friends and stuff like that. And so, you get enough feedback and people are like, no, I could see you doing that. And then you're like, okay, like, let's see. And I don't know, right? Again, this is an expectation thing. I'm gonna hold no expectations. Mm-hmm. If it's meant to happen, it's meant to succeed. Okay, great. If not, that's the thing. Even with Renew, was like every event that we did, every open door to an event, I really truly believe was for us, and all the closed ones were not. And I look back at all the events and I'm like, oh, we were supposed to go here to meet this person and to do this event, and it all comes together.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
So you can't be like offended when a door closes. It's like, okay, so then what is my door?
It feels like you're walking. I mean, and that is actually a really great transition into the spring, into the turning. I literally like named this next topic the turning.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
And so, after a season of kind of like rebuilding, I guess, in a way, what are you turning to? I feel like you kind of like alluded to that.
Wait, so with business, with me, with
anything? Ooh. Both. And
okay, I think this is something. Okay, wow, this is something I've like kind of struggled with, but now I'm like more so embracing, because this goes back to like the selfishness thing. But I have genuinely always wanted to help people and like give back and make an impact. Which is funny, because you would think that most people would be like that, but some people are just in it for money. Some people are in it for whatever. It's so funny, when we started our business, I told Kyle, I was like, we have to give back. And he's like, we're barely making it. I'm like, I know. But like, I truly believe you give, you get back tenfold, right?
Yeah.
And so then everything came from that. So then I'm like, start thinking up these ideas of like, how can we impact people? How can we like use our story? How can we, instead of it being this, I don't know, this like selfish thing, it's more like when you finally, I mean, if you are a believer, it's like, no, this is actually like God is within me. How can I be a good steward of what he's given me, of what he's done? And I feel like that was the turning point of like, I had to realize, okay, for instance, if I were to like, if I want to take my business the way I want it to go, then it is big and it is this big dream. And then there's this thought of like, maybe I shouldn't, right? Like maybe that's too big, or I shouldn't make money and all this stuff. So I had to find that, like the turning point of it's actually okay. And if you make more money, you can make a greater impact. And yeah, there's going to come with challenges, but like God's with you as long as you constantly keep giving it back, right? Yeah. Like I'm literally just like, he's the owner, I'm the manager. I'm just like trying my best to be like, what do I do
being
with
an
all this?
open vessel.
Yeah, yeah.
And not trying to like, I don't know, close up and allow things to kind of like sit and fester. And I was telling another friend this, I'm like, Justin and I have always seen as like our whether it's like our finances or even like our material possessions is like I see so much, not only energetically, but I see our own feedback loops with this, where it's like I'm happier when I feel like I am like literally not holding on to anything. And I think we're not supposed to do that, you know, when it comes to like expectations or material possessions. And I think it's unraveling all of these belief systems that truly are not going to serve us in the seasons.
Yeah, we spoke to that. I was like, what? Okay, like we should take care of ourselves. We should take care of our family and then take care of others, right? Like there is nothing wrong with the fact that you want to build a beautiful life for your family. But again, we're all told like, stay small, you know, don't talk, stay small, don't get too big, don't make too much money. You know, you're going to get judged. But guess what? You're going to get judged either way.
That is literally, we talked about this.
Yeah.
I feel like we've talked about this like
a lot. But you're hearing it for the first time.
You're hearing it for the first time. But it's just going to be even juicier when we talk about it, because we're like, we're fired up. Yeah, we already know. We've lived here before. Yes. But it's like spring is one of my favorites, okay? It's like the turning point. It's like when
the mindset shift.
The mindset shift where you're like, I'm going to sow what I want to see.
Yeah.
Okay. Summer.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
The expansion and the creation point. This is where people really do get to see like, oh, wow. Like I want to skip all the other seasons and get to summer. And it's
but
like,
it wouldn't be as amazing if you didn't go through
the
other ones.
Not at all. And so I kind of want to skip ahead a little bit and talk about like what we were just talking about, the juice.
Yeah, yeah.
People want the juice without having to grow what they're wanting to juice, like, or they're afraid. Maybe that's what, or like, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, what do you think it is? Is like, especially like, I don't want to attack the church. I love the church. Yeah, I am part of the church. Yeah. But I think like I see this for women and for moms that it's like, I grew up thrifting. I still love thrifting so much. And I love finding a bargain. I love it. But it's like at the same time, what do you think that is in us where we're maybe like, again, maybe still having winter mentality where it's like, hey, the harvest is really small. And like, do you think that like holds us back to expand?
Yeah. I was going to say like, money in itself is not bad. Like biblically too, it is like what you do with that money. It's if you are greedy with it, but the actual money is not bad. And like, it can actually be beautifully used for the kingdom. And also, in what world did we tell ourselves, like, I'm holier because I thrift? Like, no one said that. Like, if you want to go shop at, like, Ralph Lauren, like, okay, great, go ahead. Like, no one, where in the Bible does it say? It's like, I heard this thing of the richest people actually are the most giving, usually. Yeah. And, of course, you have the negative. We all focus on the negative. There are the ones that are rich and greedy, and 100%. We see that. Yeah. But then again, it's like all these people have a lot of money and they give back. And that's what I think. I'm like, in what world did we say, like, being poor and small is holier than someone else? Like,
I think it's like a yes and, like, the both, right? And I think we demonize and we polarize both of these sides, where it's like, why would you buy that? Yeah. And it's like, it's like, for me, I don't know what you want. I'm like, I think you're touching on something really important and really kind of like what I alluded to earlier is, like, I think these belief systems, I personally have walked through this. Like, I remember, I'll tell this again. I told you, words are getting a little bit hard. When Justin and I were first married, money was really tight. And, you know, I worked at an OBGYN. Yep. And I had really good benefits, and Justin's YouTube was kind of like doing really well. But it was still like, hey, we should really, like, have our budget tight, you know. And we went grocery shopping pretty much like the first time as a married couple, and he's picking, like, name brand items, and I'm having literally an anxiety attack. Right. In King Soopers. And I was like, why can't we just buy the Kroger peanut butter?
Yeah, you're like, come on.
It's peanuts and water. Right. He's like, no. He's like, I want this brand. Right. And I'm like, that was our first argument, is over peanut butter. But I'm like, he has taught me, like, yes, like, hold to a budget. Be wise with your money. Right. Be wise.
Exactly.
But I was so stuck, like, in this limiting belief that I am only okay if I'm only safe. I think that's where, like, what we're talking about is there's a big difference between being wise and being stuck.
Well, yeah, because it's like you have to be, right, very obvious, but you really should be wise with your money. Yes. Be smart. We're not saying, like, oh, yeah, spend your whole paycheck on this amazing purse.
Buy all the Jif. Yeah.
Right, exactly. It's like, okay, we're not saying that. It's like, be wise. But also, I'm finding everybody, like, puts themselves in a box. And we all, especially if you're a believer, like, you think, oh, money, like, there's just this thing around money.
Doesn't grow on trees, Hannah.
Yeah, and it's like, also, like, oh, if you have money, it's seen as bad. Like, when did we ever...
Shame around it.
Yeah. And then also, like, we shouldn't... In what world is God not... Like, why wouldn't God want to bless us? I mean, it's that verse of he feeds the birds. Like, why would he not look after you as well? Totally. Which kind of reminds me of Renew, because when... And I think I might have told you this. Me and Kyle are kind of different. Like, we're very different in the sense of... I don't think there's anything as, like, too much faith, but, like, I'm very, like, God's got it, right? And I know there's a point where you can't just sit there and be lazy and be like, God's got it, I'm doing nothing. I totally believe you have to take action with your faith. But Kyle veers on the other side of, Hannah.
I relate to Kyle.
Yeah, he's like, what do you mean? Look at the money coming in. This doesn't add up. What are we doing? And I have told Kyle, and he's still like that sometimes. And I'm like, we have done our business for over 2 years, and there has not been a single month that God didn't provide. Yeah. And even if it was just enough, and he provided for our bills, provided for our groceries, whatever it is. And I remember sitting with him being like, is just enough good enough for you? Or, because if you are never going to be okay with just enough, you will never be okay to steward God's money when you have more than enough.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
That sent chills.
Like, why would God give you more if you can't even be satisfied with what he's given you?
That's so good. That's so good. What did Kyle say when you said that?
You know, it's just like, I know you're
right.
It's like,
I know you're right. But it's hard. Like, when like when I say I relate to Kyle because it's like that, like I have had to, I'm going to keep saying unraveled, but it's like I have had to unravel the like limiting beliefs, especially as a mom, because it just, that it didn't fit. It didn't serve my family like at all.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want my kids, like, I think the biggest thing, especially as moms, is like looking at our kids and being like, when my kids are my age and they're a parent, or even if they're in college age, whatever, when they're grown adults, how do I want them to act?
Right.
Do I want them to like penny pinch themselves to death?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or do I want them to be wise and know that they are also worthy of nice things?
Exactly. That is what, oh my gosh, that is like,
That's the concluding fact.
Like you are worthy of these good things that happen to you.
And I'm telling you, Jif peanut butter hits different.
See, there we go.
It's so much different.
Like something's different about it. I swear. Well, that was what I think is like why. So I think it was a podcast that I was listening to recently where this guy said he chose to celebrate money with his kids. And now their view of money is completely different than anyone else's.
Wow.
And so when they got money from certain things, they would be like, look at what we have. Look at what God's blessed us with. Like they celebrated. We don't do that. It's like we hide away when I really think like money is from God. And if he blesses us with it, like we will celebrate, we will give it to other people. But like, again, you have to like, I don't know what the like churn, you know, where you're starting to tell yourself otherwise and it's uncomfortable. I had to get to the point, and we've spoke about it. My dreams were so big. I was like, I'm never going to get to these big dreams if I still have these limiting beliefs about money and about the way I'm viewed. Like we've already said, people are going to judge you no matter what. So like, you know, you have these big dreams. The saddest part is that no one I'm finding is dreaming big.
Why is that? We've kind of like alluded in like the winter months, and like, you know, I feel like I've picked on mamas in the church a lot, but it's like in general, why do you think that is?
Well, I genuinely think like insecurity, fear, judgment. I mean, especially women, we judge ourselves. I think the thing is, which I've told you, your dreams should be so big you're embarrassed to tell other people. And obviously, you start telling people, they're going to question you. They're like, oh, you really think you can do that?
That's cute.
And then you start putting it on yourself. And it's like, don't do that. Like people, I think humans in general, we are a jealous being, right? And we don't want to be in a room with someone who's doing better than us. And that's just factual, and that's how it goes. Okay, so of course there's going to be, you want to find, which I think is rare, you want to find the people that will fully support you. And I've had this moment of like, okay, if I get to this big dream, are the people that I'm with now actually going to stick with me on it? And maybe that's not true. It doesn't mean you should walk away from your friends. It's just seasonal. But don't you understand, like I had to realize I'm not in the right rooms of people yet with business and with women. Like I want other mothers in business who are like, yeah, we love being moms, but we love business too. Mm-hmm. And so it was like, instead of me sitting here and having a pity party for myself, I had to be like, okay, I have to start going that direction. Yeah. I can't sit here and keep doing what I'm doing, expecting them to just show up at my door.
Yep.
So take small actions to get to that place. And then eventually, right, I really believe you start acting a certain way, you start showing up in certain rooms, like you will find your people.
And this trickles down into motherhood.
Yeah.
It trickles down into motherhood. When you feel like you are, like your core is being strengthened of who you are as a woman.
Yeah.
Your kids will feel it. They will see it. They will sense it. And I will say from personal experience, I was so insecure about being in rooms with people better.
Right.
People prettier.
Yeah.
People with more subscribers. Mm-hmm. People with like businesses, moms, not like that has melted away.
Yeah, right.
You get to it melts away. Yeah. It truly does. You do. Like you said, you get to a point where it's like, I am not better than anyone, but I want to learn.
Right. Like my therapist always tells me, like, stay curious. And so it's like, why? If I'm in a room with someone that's more successful than me, I'm like, how did you do it? Like, I want to do that, you know, and it's not even jealous. It's like,
teach me.
yes.
Like even like, it's like if I see a woman who has like the best fashion, there was this mom, I can't remember where we were. I think it was just at a park, and she dressed up for the park. And I think, you know, a lot of people could say, why in the world would you dress up for the park in that?
Right.
She looked like a free people goddess, okay?
There we go.
She was gorgeous. Yeah. And I was like, and I'm in literally sweatpants with like probably like stains everywhere. Yeah. And I was like, and at first I felt that. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm insecure. I'm judging. Yeah. But then I went up to her and I was like, please tell me that I can buy what you're wearing.
Like one day I will be.
Like, tell me. Yeah. And it was a good conversation starter, because then like our kids were playing, we were talking, and I got all of her links. So
see, that's what I'm saying. I was like, there's also this moment. I mean, it has to stem from confidence. You have to eventually gain a lot of confidence within yourself to like acknowledge that the person across from you might be like more successful, but that's not for you, right? Like for some reason we'll like take people and we're like, oh wait, I need that one. It's like, no.
Before we judge, we always are saying no to ourselves first. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. That's literally it. I can't have that. Therefore, I'm projecting anger and jealousy.
Right. Right. And it's like, and this whole conversation ties back to like, you don't have to want to start your own business. Like you don't have to want to do certain things, but like find the core of who you are and what you love doing. Like I really, truly feel so strongly you cannot just stay being a mother 24/7. Like you have passions within you. Do you love to bake bread? Like do it. You don't have to make money. No one said you had to make money. Yeah. Just do something for you and like actually intentionally spend that time. You will be a much better mother for it, you know?
And I have met women who are like, I solely want to be a mom. That's all I want to do.
And that's amazing.
And I'm like, girl, yes, you are literally going to be like the core of like you are needed. You are wanted. You are like an inspiration. And like, we're talking to you too, when it comes to like kind of like what you just talked about is like, find out what being a mom, like do all of these things, be that Proverbs 31 woman, bring your kids alongside you. And they are going to, again, like, we're not just talking to like the boss babes.
Right.
You know,
it's like
you're a boss babe.
Yeah. 100%. And I think too that like, let's be honest, it is a huge calling to be a mother.
Yes.
Huge calling. And it is like one of the greatest things that we can give. Yeah. There's still you.
There's still you.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, there's still you. Even if you, and we know this, because I have friends that felt that huge calling. I want to be a stay-at-home mom. Yeah. A lot of women feel that way. That is beautiful and amazing. There is still you. Mm-hmm. Take care of you. And that's the thing. Everybody's cup is different. You have to know how you are, who you are. If you can like only spend one day a week for 2 hours on yourself and you feel filled in that, amazing.
Yeah.
Some other women are like, I need 5 days, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. Like, what makes you be the best wife, the best mother, the best friend? Do those things.
And I think it's like unraveling those specific, beliefs of being like, what is the, what is the model? There is no set, like measurement for what we're talking about.
Yeah, and no one said that like. Right? Of course, everybody on social media, it's all a highlight reel. It's like, oh, well, what did you do with the kids? I want that. I want that. It's like literally, and you have to see the other side of it too. Like some of these women who are, you know, insanely successful on the outside, it's like they actually really struggle to even like drop their kids off at daycare. They struggle to show up as, we cannot be all things to all people. And that is what has to hit home. Like I realize, you know, I might be giving really well in my business and to my kids, but my marriage is like off to the side. Mm-hmm. I can't be the best friend, the best wife, the best mother, the best business owner. I am one single person. Yeah. And I think every week, it shifts, right? If business is really busy, like I have to feed into that and communicate with Kyle. Like, hey, I can't give much right now to our like marriage, but like, let's set a date night, you know, whatever it is.
It's so good.
You have to like fluctuate with what's happening in your life. And stop trying to show up as everything to everyone, because then you're burning yourself out and getting resentful.
Oh, it's like such a good transition to literally our last topic. Hold on. The sun is... There you go. Realize I'm like literally glowing. Oh, and now the disco ball. Hold on, guys.
Oh, the disco ball.
I know. I have...
Let's
like
go. Oh.
The sun wasn't even on.
I love that, though.
Where is the sun coming from?
I actually don't know. Maybe just... You need to close that little...
It's the disco ball.
Do the other one. There, maybe.
Is that fixed?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now we're really dark. Oh, I'll just be sweaty.
We'll just be sweaty. Yeah, that's better. It's fine. The disco ball makes it more exciting.
Guys, I don't know if you can see or if you're like watching.
Actually, that seems good.
The video, but yeah, the disco ball. Oh yeah, I'm not as like in the sun. Just a quick little break.
This is real life.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so like communication, we're transitioning now our conversation into fall. And so a lot of people will see fall as depressing because you're literally going back, you're losing, like most of the time, in a literal sense.
Yes, okay.
In a literal sense, we're like, oh, we're losing the beauty. We're losing the sun. We're losing being seen. It's like almost like you have to go back into the valley from the mountaintop. And you have to be in like, okay, well, how big was our harvest?
Yes.
And sometimes it's plenty, and sometimes you're like, it's tight. It's
for
tight.
sure. Yeah.
you know? And so what are your, like, I called the fall the integration.
Okay, I love it because literally was just going through something like this. So Kyle and I, like maybe a week or two ago, it was probably 2 weeks ago, we sat down and we both were like, I don't feel very passionate about Renew right now. And it happened to both of us. A lot of businesses fail within 3 to 5 years because of this, I swear. Wow. So you have, right? We are at the point where we can be full-time in our business. We have employees we can pull from. Yeah. Everything's great. Yeah. Like, right? We could stay here and just be like, okay, let's just like mundanely keep doing what we're doing. You kind of like lose that dream a little bit because you're just like, oh, we're doing the same thing over and over, right? You have to understand, like, when you start a business, when you start something new, right, like, there is going to come a time where you're like, the passion kind of dies.
What am I doing?
You're like, oh, that is the, like, right, first the turning point, but then the, like, you have to do something about this, and I think that's the fall. It's like there's some change happening, and you might, like, go into some sort of other season, but you have to choose what to do here. And I remember, like, me and Kyle saying, like, okay, let's not put pressure on this. Like, I specifically was like, I'm not putting pressure. I'm leaving this for a second. Like, leaving it mentally. Yeah. Because if I would have overthought it and been like, I would have been like, let's just screw it.
Like,
right?
forcing maybe, like, an action when it didn't require an action quite yet.
Yes, exactly.
Like, pruning something too early.
Exactly. Because it was like, I understand. And thankfully, I know that this has happened to a million businesses. So it was like, I knew this point was going to come where it's like we're doing well, but like, you know, there's more growth to happen. I don't feel passion. I don't have ideas right now. That's okay. So we left it for like 2 weeks. And then yesterday was the day, like I told you, where it was this spark. And I swear, and I feel like a lot of people are like this. If you just like, you deal with that, right? Like deal with the emotion of just like staying stuck. Yeah. There will come a spark.
It's just the uncomfortable.
Wait. Yes, like just wait. It will come back. You'll get a new idea, but like stop forcing it. We like try to force these new ideas and it's like, that wasn't for you. Like just wait, right? So if you feel like you're stuck, like just wait. And so that was when yesterday I got the spark back and I was like, that was when the hospitality came in. I was like, I love hospitality. Why are we viewing Renew as just coffee? We should be a hospitality business and everything we do from there is based on people feeling seen and valued. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's where I think the like fall came in. And then I was like, you know, let's just, right? Like with fall, let's just like sit. Let's look at the trees. Let's just like,
let's let the process happen. Let's let the leaves, instead of like trying to collect the leaves or put them back on.
Right. Yes.
Again, like this is all like symbolism and analogies and all of it. But it's like, I think we tend to do that and we panic. And it's almost like we are already setting ourselves up for, sadness.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
When the seasons change.
Well, and we get so, right, like we love being in the summer, the bliss. Oh, we got like for our business, we got this amazing event. You know, you get that dopamine. Yep. And then eventually you're like, right, your threshold for dopamine like goes up and you're like, okay, this isn't as exciting anymore. And so then you like feel like you want to give up when really it's like, no, there's something else. Like this is life. I think you can constantly expand on new ideas. You can constantly be developing who you are or your business or mother, whatever it is. You can develop it deeper, but there's going to be a time, everybody has to acknowledge there will be a time where it's like, this is getting boring. Don't walk away.
Yeah.
Like this is the moment. And I told Kyle, I said, this is the moment where everybody gives up. And this is the moment where companies, businesses go from like good to great, is because you like sit there and you're like, am I going to let this die or am I going to like transform it? You know?
I feel like the transitional seasons are just like any other transitional moment where it's like birth, transition, the worst part, but it's the part that's actually
like right
the best.
Right before.
Because it gets you your baby.
Yes, that's how I feel.
We got 4 minutes. Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Can you just tell them to like maybe like not scream?
Say, we're at the end, guys. You're doing great.
Yep. Oh gosh.
One of the kids went.
Have you guys ever heard of the artist Sleeping at Last?
No.
He is an incredible artist and singer-songwriter, but he takes like daily moments, like voice recordings of his day, whether it's like a lawnmower or airplane or kids laughing, and he puts them into his songs. So cool. And it's really, really cool. And I am like inspired by all of the chaos in our background. So I'm like,
I wonder how much you can actually hear it.
I know it's true. It's probably just like loud for us.
Right.
I love all of this, and you are so full of wisdom. You're so full of just like, I think again, when it comes to people who have, we all have a story, we all have a testimony, and we all have a winter. And so what would you say to someone who is anxious about like the changing of the seasons, whether that is literal or metaphorical? What would you say to that?
I mean, it's like so, I would probably say like you are so much stronger and capable than you've ever imagined. There is so much more for you on the other side, and stop like putting yourself in a box, you know, like once you realize you are capable, like the world is your oyster, right? Yeah. And dream, that was my biggest thing, like dream so much bigger than you've ever imagined. Like seriously, because and when did you stop believing in yourself that you could do it?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question for literally any single person, any human being, whether you are a mom or you're not. I think that's really
I'm like, if you take anything from this podcast, okay, go right after this, write down your biggest dreams. And if you're sitting there like, I have no idea, then just start writing the things you love. And eventually it'll like spark from there. And then it's like, I really believe like your dreams should be so big, you're embarrassed to tell other people.
I feel that. Like there's a couple of dreams when I'm like, oh, I feel like the embarrassment, I feel the shame, but I'm like, I know that they're going to come in this season. Like those are like the trees that I want to plant one day.
Yeah. Well, and there's this like, you know, just quickly, it's if you are like, how do I say this? If anyone like doubted you or made you feel like small or whatever, instead of being like, you know, insecure, putting yourself back in that box, being like resentful of them, and use that as motivation. Be like, I will prove you wrong, and not in like a mean sense of just like, seriously, you can do it. And all these people questioned you. Don't you want to like stand before all of them and be like, I did it, but for me, not for you.
Again, I think it like comes down to like showing up for yourself. It's not selfish.
Yeah.
Showing up for your kids and your family, because they also deserve it.
Yeah, because you show up for you, you're showing up for them.
Yeah. When you think about the legacy that you and Kyle are leaving and creating, what do you hope your daughters will see, remember, and carry? It's a big one.
I love that. I love it. We just restarted it. He's like, thank God. Okay, ask the question again. I need to hear it again.
So when you think about the legacy that you and Kyle are creating, whether it's with Renew or anything that blossoms throughout Renew, what do you hope that your daughters will see, remember, and carry?
I hope they see that we never gave up and we fought for the things that we love and the things that we're passionate about. And I hope that they take that with them too, that they know, I hope the biggest legacy we leave with them is that they can dream big and they can do it just by watching us.
Love. Yeah. I think they will. I always hear like that our kids will always listen to the things that we do, not what we say.
Oh, for sure. I'm like, they're watching.
They're literally watching.
Which is goes back to the whole thing. You better do the things.
Do the things that actually you think are selfish. So that, yes. So anyway, I feel like we're broken records over that. We're very passionate about women taking care of themselves over here. Sure. Okay. And then lastly, where can people support you, find you, love on you?
Okay. renewcoffeecart.com. You can see our website. renewcoffee _ is just our Instagram. I don't actually have a personal anything, so
because your priorities are in line. You are doing great.
Yeah, but would love. I mean, if you guys just feel free as well to just reach out, even if you want to talk about business, talk about motherhood. Like, I am here for it.
Hannah is one of like I always call you like one of those old souls. Yeah, like very full of wisdom, even when you were in your winter.
Yeah.
You know, so I've enjoyed this convo with you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, first episode.
We did it.
So fun. First official episode with a guest. It's like so much sweeter when you have a guest and having my sister-in-law. So
yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.